Welcome to the newscast of the Dicastery for the Laity, Family, and Life.
Pope Francis came to visit the Dicastery. By his presence and words, he encouraged those working in this Dicastery to listen to others and to deal with people's problems.
The Prefect Cardinal Farrell participated in a TV program in Canada with young people and bishops. During the broadcast, the Pope sent a video message to the Canadian youth.
The Dicastery for the Laity, Family, and Life has two new undersecretaries. Linda Gisoni will care for the section of the laity and Gabriella Gambino for the section for life.
The bishops of Paraguay, Uruguay, and Hungary, on their Ad Limina visit to the Vatican, came to the Dicastery. There was also an encounter with the Emmanuel community linked to the renewal of its statute.
Work is in progress for the World Meeting of Families and the World Youth Day. In Dublin and Panama, the preparations for these great events are advancing.
Buongiorno a tutti. Il Good News è una buona notizia del Dicastero per i laici, per la famiglia e la vita. Sono essi, i fedeli laici e le famiglie cattoliche, che sono la buona notizia per tutta la Chiesa e per tutta l'umanità. Questo notiziario è un racconto e un'immagine di tutte le notizie del mese, del Dicastero. Recentemente è venuto qui il Santo Padre Francisco e ci ha donato il suo incoraggiamento e il suo pensiero a tutti noi. Questo è un piccolo strumento di comunicazione che speriamo che sia per voi e per tutte le persone che si interessano in tutto quell'apostolato dei laici, della famiglia, dei giovani, dei bambini, dei anziani, di tutto il mondo. Questa è una notizia per voi, di voi. Allora, speriamo che sia utile per tutti voi. Grazie.
Pope Francis visited the Dicastery for the Laity, Family, and Life. A few days after the meeting with the Pontifical Foundation Scholas Occurrentes, Francis came back to Palazzo San Callisto in Rome to meet the members of the Dicastery that he founded in August of last year.
The staff was very enthusiastic and happy to welcome Francis. The last visit of a pontiff to the Dicastery dates back to June of 1979, when John Paul II came to the then Pontifical Council for the Laity.
When Francis arrived, towards 9 a.m., he wanted to meet everyone in the Dicastery's Aula Magna, where he dedicated nearly an hour to speaking with the officials.
At the end, the Pope stayed for a moment of conviviality and left a chirograph addressed to the Dicastery, in which he thanked everyone and invited us not to be afraid. Expand the horizons, he wrote. Go out to listen to the reality of the people and announce Jesus Christ.
The Office for Family Ministry of the Italian Bishops' Conference promoted, in Rome, an international symposium on the apostolic exhortation Amoris Laetitia. For the occasion, Pope Francis sent a video message to the participants.
The family born of marriage creates the fertile bonds that are the most effective antidote to individualism. However, said Francis, on the road of conjugal love and family life, some situations call for arduous choices to be made righteously.
For this reason, the Pope recommended, it is important that the spouses and the parents not be left alone, but rather accompanied in the commitment to apply the gospel to the concreteness of life.
Never abandon a sick person. This is Pope Francis's categorical imperative in his message to the Pontifical Academy for Life and the participants at the meeting of the European Regional Meeting of the World Medical Association on end-of-life issues.
Everyone, writes the Pope, is called to give love in his or her own way, as a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, a brother or sister, a doctor, or a nurse. The withdrawal of overzealous treatment is, according to the Holy Father, a decision that responsibly acknowledges the limitations of our mortality. Here, one does not will to cause death. One's inability to impede it is merely accepted, writes the Pope, quoting the Catechism of the Catholic Church.
However, the factors that come into play are often difficult to evaluate, and therefore, according to Francis, there needs to be a careful discernment of the moral object, the attending circumstances, and the intention of those involved.
And even when, says the Pope, it is not possible to guarantee the healing of the sick person, we can and must always care for the living. Finally, the reflection focused on palliative medicine, which according to Pope Francis is proving most important in our culture as it opposes pain and solitude.
The Prefect, Kevin Farrell, was in Toronto, Canada, for a talk show at the TV studios of the Catholic Salt and Light Media.
The bishops of 6 Canadian cities and many young people also took part in the show, animated by Julian Paparella and Emilie Callan, centered on the Synod and the challenges, questions, and needs of young Catholics.
For the occasion, Pope Francis sent a video message in which he addressed these words to the young Canadians. Do not let your youth be stolen from you. Do not allow anyone to slow and obscure the light that Christ puts in your face and in your heart. Be weavers of relationships, signed by trust, by sharing, by openness, even to the ends of the world. Do not raise walls of division. Build bridges.
The Prefect Kevin Farrell addressed a convention at Boston College on Amoris Laetitia that brought together 24 moralist theologians from around the world. This was the first time that so many theologians met in the United States to discuss the pastoral care of the family.
The Prefect's intervention focused in particular on young people and marriage preparation within the U.S. cultural context. The participants included 12 bishops and some of the best-known theologians in the U.S.
The Prefect Cardinal Kevin Farrell attended the annual Faith and Life Convention on Faith in the Family in Belfast. The initiative that brought together over 500 participants marked the start of a series of diocesan events in preparation for the Dublin World Meeting of Families, which will be held in August 2018.
The Irish Archbishop Diarmuid Martin, Julianne Moran of the Irish World Missions, and Sharon Hoffey of St. Mary's University took part in a topical roundtable.
The Prefect Cardinal Kevin Farrell and the delegate Monsignor Carlos Simon attended the Third International Congress of Confraternities at the Catholic University of Murcia in Spain.
The prefect spoke of a university model, that of Murcia, not based on individualism, but on human and Christian values that prepare young people to face life's challenges. The Cardinal also presided over the conclusion of the Congress and officially designated Malaga as the seat of the next International Congress in 2021.
The Dicastery hosted a conference on inclusive sports, a look towards the other. In his speech, Cardinal Farrell reiterated the importance of sports that can unite people beyond their geographical or cultural background, their race or religion.
The time we live in, the Cardinal added, is the time of the laity, and the lay people, the families, are invited, he concluded, to become yeast that ferments the milieu in which they find themselves and can do this even through sports.
Pope Francis has appointed the Prefect Cardinal Kevin Farrell to be his special envoy at the inauguration of the dome depicting the Most Holy Trinity in the Basilica of the U.S. National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C.
The ceremony will take place on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. This basilica is the largest Catholic church in the United States and the 8th largest church building in the world. Cardinal Farrell served as auxiliary bishop in the Archdiocese of Washington from 2001 to 2007.
The Dicastery has 2 new undersecretaries. Pope Francis named 2 women, Linda Ghisoni to the section for the laity and Gabriella Gambino to the section for life.
Linda Ghisoni, married and mother of 2 daughters, is a lawyer and has worked for the Court of the First Instance and the Court of Appeals for the Vicariate of Rome.
Gabriella Gambino, married and mother of 5 children, is an expert in bioethics, specialized in the institute directed by Cardinal Elio Esgreccia.
The 2 new undersecretaries have come to greet the staff at the Dicastery, where they will begin their service on the 11th of December.
In recent months, the prefect, the secretary, and the officials have met with the representatives of many associations and movements to discuss their activities and collaboration in the great events of the Dicastery.
Experts, scholars, and representatives of institutions are working closely with the Dicastery in many fields, including especially the gender issue and the role of women. One of the many meetings was that with the Emmanuel community, whose statutes have been renewed. On this occasion, the Prefect Cardinal Farrell celebrated a Mass in the chapel of the Center San Lorenzo.
Paraguay's bishops came to the Dicastery during their Ad Limina visit. Young people, they said, are the key to fighting the social woes that are humiliating Paraguay. For this reason, the bishops, counting on them, have launched a 3-year course of formation. The goal is to raise young people in parishes and movements so that they may become active and mature adults and make it a more honest and solidary country.
Uruguay's bishops are also focusing their efforts on formation. During their Ad Limina visit, they spoke about this highly secularized country where the Church is particularly committed to preparing the young for marriage and accompanying people who are wounded.
In Hungary, said the bishops, who came to the Dicastery a few days ago, the Church is fighting the country's demographic crisis and investing in education.
The legacy of state atheism is still heavy, and the Catholic laity is struggling to get moving again. For this reason, associations and international movements invest a lot of energy in the formation of the faithful.
An international seminar focused on the meeting point, the course of affective sexual education inspired by Amoris Laetitia, already presented by the Dicastery during the World Youth Day in Krakow.
Among the objectives on the horizon of the continuity between youth and family ministry is the updating of the course's experience in the different settings and in view of the upcoming World Families Meeting in Dublin, as well as the Dicastery's contribution of the 2018 Synod of Bishops on Youth.
Marta Rodriguez, head of the Woman's Office, participated in the day of reflection on the figure of Francesca Cabrini, patron of migrants, a saint for today, organized by the Dicastery for the promotion of integral human development.
In Dublin, the organizational machine preparing for next August's World Meeting of Families is moving ahead. There are already over 1,000 registrations and approximately 1,300 volunteers who will welcome the participants to the meeting.
In the meantime, the Australian Catholic Bishops' Conference has chosen the Highland family from the Diocese of Broken Bay to be their delegates at the meeting in Dublin.
In addition, podcasts in the series Let's Talk Family are online. These audio files, each of which lasts approximately 10 minutes, can be downloaded free of charge. Within each week, Brenda Drum, Communications Manager for the Archdiocese of Dublin, interviews someone involved in the event in Ireland.
Among the guests are Father Damien McNeese, who explains the icon of the meeting, Ephraim Feely, the composer of the official hymn, and Natalie Orifice and Leanne Papp, promoters of the official pilgrimage from Birmingham to Dublin.
Looking towards 2019, the preparations for the World Youth Day are well underway. After the earthquake in Mexico, young people brought the WYD symbols for the pilgrimage to the diocese, going through Durango, Hermosillo, and Monterrey. They then made a stop in Cuba and Haiti.
Meanwhile, in Panama, The preparations to welcome young pilgrims from all over the world are being made, above all by volunteers, not only young and not so young Panamanians, but also foreigners coming from neighboring countries and even from other continents. A total of 25,000 volunteers are expected, including 5,000 from abroad.